The HRC Started Level Test is for started hunting retrievers and handlers. It attempts to test the dog by simulating actual hunting conditions throughout the local area. The Started Hunt Test is for young or inexperienced hunting retrievers. The started hunting retriever might not have had the experience of a season of hunting or limited exposure to hunting and retraining. Retrievers trained to the started level should be able to waterfowl hunt and retrieve game from land and water. The Started Test is an excellent venue for beginning handlers to get involved with field training and hunt testing. In a Started Test, you can expect the support and encouragement of the judges, fellow handlers, and club members. Everybody wants you to succeed. Remember, these tests are pass-fail. They are not competitions. So how are dogs judged in the HRC? These experienced HRC judges explain.
We are judging the dogs against the standards, not a competition. Like Sam said, there's certain things we're looking for. Marketing memory, desire, nose, all these come into factor. We're not comparing one dog against another dog. We are looking at you and that dog as a team, okay? That is how they're being evaluated, okay? If you have not taken a look at the rule book lately, please go back and take a look at it, okay? There are a few things that have changed in the last couple of years. There's going to be some changes coming up next year, okay? But read that rule book. Understand what judges are looking for and or what they're expecting out of a dog.
A Started Hunt Test consists of 4 marked retrieves of game birds, 2 on land and 2 on water. The most commonly used birds are mallard ducks. Yes, these are real dead ducks. So it is important that your dog, and you for that matter, have been exposed to real ducks prior to running a test. You do not want the first exposure to ducks to be at a test. Less commonly used, but still allowable, are pheasants and pigeons. The ducks are already dead, and all the gunfire that you see and hear in the video is simulated using poppers, which are blanks. No live birds or ammunition are ever used at a Started Test. If a dog completes the 4 retrieves to the judge's satisfaction, they will have passed this particular test on this day. If a dog passes another 3 tests on 3 other days, the dog will earn a Started Hunting Retriever title and will have the letters SHR added as a prefix to its UKC registered name. In an HRC hunt test, dogs are also awarded points. A started pass earns 5 points. Up to 10 points from started tests can be used to apply to higher titles. So even though you need 4 passes for a started title, remember only the points from 2 of those passes will count towards a higher title. So you don't need a started title to advance to higher level titles, but many handlers, especially newer handlers, can gain valuable experience at the line and the accomplishment of obtaining the dog's, and maybe the handler's, first hunt test title. So who can enter these tests? UKC licensed HRC hunt tests are open to all breeds listed in the UKC group classification, Gun Dog. The following registration classifications are acceptable as noted. 1. UKC permanently registered dogs. 2. UKC performance listed, PL dogs. PL dogs must meet the requirements to be listed as one of the breeds in the Gun Dog group and are required to be spayed or neutered to participate in HRC events only. 3. Non-UKC registered dogs. No points will be awarded until registration requirements are met. Entering an HRC test is easy. Although multiple online entry services exist, the vast majority can be entered using huntsecretary.com. You will need to establish an account and enter your dog's information. Once you do that, you can enter the site and use the drop-down menu to find HRC tests. All tests currently open for entry will appear. All tests have an open and a closed date, so you will want to check this site from time to time. You can also view the Hunt Test Premium for more detailed information and also view the current entries. Started entries are limited to 50, so don't wait until the last minute. Most tests allow walk-up entries the day of the test if there is still room, but that is not guaranteed. The best way to enter any test is to pre-register. You can always scratch from the test any time before the close date and receive most of your entry feedback. After close date, a running order will be established. Check back after the close date to see what your running order number is. The first thing that you should do when arriving at the test site is to check in at the Hunt Test headquarters and again at your location of your particular test to let everyone know that you are at the test and ready to go. You never want to leave the club and the judges waiting for your arrival and unsure if you are on the grounds. You may or may not run in order according to your number. The program director of the test will set the actual running order in order to most efficiently run the test. So never assume where you will run in the order. Always check in with the program director. Now let's take you to an actual started hunt test. This one held at Michigan HRC. Tests can start either on the water or the land. These judges have decided to start with the water test this morning. The judges will describe the logistics and objectives of the test, as well as gun safety.
Started is the most fun test that you can run with your young dogs or your inexperienced dogs. They're not always young, but with your inexperienced dogs, and it's really kickstarts you into the love of this sport. If you're just getting started or if you're experienced, we all love to run started with our dogs. We are both pretty low key, pretty low pressure. We want to see your dogs on this test jump in the water, get the bird, come back, deliver it to you in some capacity, and then go to a little bit of a different spot and jump back into the water. The biggest thing that we really want to see, we want to see your dog come up on land. We don't want you guys going in the water to get your bird. That's kind of going to be our cutoff, okay? We wanted the bird up on land, but the biggest thing we really want to see is that your dog is willing to go back into the water. And if they went the first time, they'll more than likely go the second time. Kristen's going to go over the logistics of the test itself and gun safety. The only thing I want to say about gun safety is we are like the last survivors of hunt tests that are allowed to use guns with poppers. If we get a lot of gun violations, we'll be done. So you guys are not going to be handling the gun today. Just keep it in mind. If you are new to this sport and if you are planning to progress with your dog, take a hunter safety course. It's not boring. It's exciting and it's worth it. And safety is paramount in this sport.
Are we able to handle the gun?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
If you want to, you can.
You can. Yes.
Okay.
But you'll be judged on gun safety.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. At that point. I think SRS has one section where they're still using the gun, but they're even going to Dokins.
Yeah.
Okay. You're good.
All right. Like Lori said, we are one of two organizations privileged enough to use this, and we want to maintain its safety and maintain our privilege to keep using it. We have the Remington 870 here, which is the preferred gun of HRC and SRS. Right now we have a safe gun, our muzzle's pointed in a safe direction, our breech is open, and our safety's on. We want the gun returned to us like this, please, if you're handling. Right now we have an unsafe gun with that breech closed, safety on. If you hand us back the gun like this, we'll probably tell you to check your gun, but it is going to be a gun violation. Right now we have an unsafe gun with that safety off and the breech open. Hand us back the gun like this, we'll probably tell you to check your gun. Again, it's another gun violation. Or gun warning. Yeah. You hand us back the gun like this, and that's going to be an immediate disqualification. So 2 gun warnings is a disqualification. This is just an immediate disqualification. If you get disqualified based on gun safety, unfortunately you are not allowed to handle your dog for the rest of the day in this state or any other dogs at any other state. Somebody else has got to handle for you.
And a warning from this morning also carries over to this afternoon. So if you get one this morning and you get one this afternoon,
Yes. Yep.
double jeopardy.
Double jeopardy, unfortunately. If you are handling the gun, we want to see you shoulder that gun. We don't want any cowboys shooting from the hip. Not today. Unfortunately, that's not the name of this game. You hunt, right? Yeah, we both hunt. We can both hear the safety. Make sure the safety does not come off until that bird is launched. Once that bird is launched, take your safety off, aim, track, shoot at the top of the arc, wait for the bird to fall, and then you can release your dog once the bird is on the ground or in the water in this case. And then put your safety back on. When you hand us back the gun, we like to hear open and safe. It's not required, but we really, really appreciate it so that we know you checked your gun and we don't have to give you any of those gun warnings. Any questions on gun safety? If you are going to handle the gun, you are more than welcome to. You cannot restrain your dog at that point. If you are not handling the gun, we have a gunner for you. You can restrain your dog at the line, and that is completely up to you. Just know one way or another. Logistics. So you're going to come in through these holding blinds.
And we're going to keep the holding blinds full. We have 40 dogs today.
Yes.
We're going to move.
Yes. I think Renee back there is our marshal.
Yeah.
She's going to run a tight ship for us. Please listen to her. She's going to do a great job of keeping our holding blinds full. We might have to slip in multiple dog handlers or pros or people with dogs at different stakes. So if you get bumped, please be patient. We're going to get to everybody. We'll see your dog. We promise. We just want everybody to get the chance to run everywhere that they need to. So you come in through these holding blinds. You're going to walk around the pond. There's going to be a little path over. You can kind of see our chairs right now. And we'll walk over there once we have birds for test dog too, so that you can see the actual test setup. And walk over there on lead. Once you get to the bucket, you can either choose to sit or stand. It's up to you. The first bird out of the winger is going to be this bird right here. It is going to go from right to left, and it's pretty much going to be straight out for your dog. There shouldn't be a harsh angle at all. Like Larry said, send your dog out into the water. Dog brings the bird back. We want to see all 4 paws out of the water, and you don't have to have your dog deliver to hand. If we tell you to get the bird off the ground, feel free to pick it up. Second bird out is going to be from that winger hide to the left of our chairs. That one is going to come out again, kind of plop right in front of them. It should be a pretty straight entry, pretty straightforward. Same thing. Bring your dog back, pick up the bird, and we'll see you this afternoon. Camouflage head to toe if you're running a dog.
Including your hat.
Including your hat.
Including your hat. Doesn't have to be your boots.
Yep.
That's new. Last year.
Yep.
That was
Yep.
new. And
If you're going to wear a hat, keep it on your head. Should you choose to handle, you are going to be judged on control at that point. Otherwise, right now we're just judging on your dog's marking ability. It's a marking test. That's what we want to see, that your dog marks the bird, has a desire to retrieve and bring it back to you.
Now, let's watch a dog run the water test. Running a test can be intimidating to beginners. Just note that the judges, when judging a started test, are really more interested in evaluating the dog, not the handler. Nervous mistakes by handlers are common, and the judges may mention something that you did incorrectly. If not an egregious infraction of the rules, the judges will most likely just advise you of your mistake so that you know what to work on for the future. So relax and have fun. In a started test, the dog can be brought up to the line on lead, and the dog is permitted to wear a collar. Note that this dog came to the line under reasonable control for a young dog. The judges aren't looking for perfect behavior from these young dogs, but they do want to see the dog under somewhat reasonable control. This handler chooses to loop the lead around the dog to restrain it as the mark is thrown. While you do not have to hold on to the collar or loop a lead around the dog, we highly suggest that you do, since the rules allow it, and it eliminates the possibility of your dog breaking or leaving for the bird before it should. The judges are now looking for the dog to proceed to the area of the fall, establish a hunt, and retrieve the bird to the general area from which the dog was sent. Delivery to hand is not required and started. This dog does a nice job of going straight to the bird and heads back to the handler. The dog does deliver to hand, but that was really not required. If the dog had brought the bird to the general area and dropped the bird, the handler can pick it up off of the ground. Now let's watch the second water mark and mention a few more things that you should know. As with the first mark, the test starts with the handler blowing a duck call, so make sure that you bring one to the test. Another duck call is blown from the bird station to get the attention of the dog, and the mark is thrown. You can release your dog for the bird as soon as it hits the water. The judges will not release the dog for you. Let's move over to the land test. All the rules are the same here. The retrieves are just done on land rather than water. The judges will give us their thoughts on how the water test went and give a few refreshers on some of the rules and gun safety.
really good morning. We had a lot of fun this morning. We saw some beautiful dogs. We saw some dogs that do not have geometric concepts down. They want to take.
We saw some that had very good geometric
Some of them had very good. Some of them looked beautiful. We had one dog pose after they picked up a bird. Yeah, we had field dogs and show dogs and a baby dog.
Yeah.
That was
we had
a
a couple
great
old dogs.
baby dog. Yeah, and a lot of Goldens, which is different for me to see coming from Pennsylvania. We do not see a ton of field Goldens. It's really a pleasure to watch those dogs run. We have a very nice Lamb series set up here. First bird will be coming from right to left, and second bird will be going from left to right. That second bird, without the wind, is going to hit at about 70 yards, okay? But it's a nice, clean landing. Your dog goes out 50 yards and they're going to see the bird, and they'll smell the bird, obviously. Same thing with this bird coming out, bird number 1, and you're going to be able to see it from here. So don't let that distance scare you. We can go out to 75 yards, but they're both very nice marks. Not much terrain here that you're going to have to deal with, so we'd like to see them go out and straight back. Everybody was really good about respecting the circle of delivery this morning. We had even some people asking us, am I in the area? And everybody did a really great job. We had some people that really encouraged their dogs when they were stumbling a little bit. We had a great morning, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did. Okay. Take it away with the gun.
Couple things I noticed from this morning.
Oh,
before I get into
yeah. Okay, let's do that first.
Yeah. When you have your dog deliver the bird, you can either pick it up from the ground or grab the bird from your dog's mouth, but don't grab your dog before you grab the bird. Technically, after the test starts, which is when you blow your duck call, you're not allowed to touch your dog. So make sure that you're getting the bird either from the ground or from the dog's mouth before you grab your dog.
Got that covered?
Yep. Intimidation, just be very mindful of checking, pulling, yanking, jerking, swearing, stepping on your dog, hitting your dog in the head with the gun. I didn't see any gross intimidation this morning. There are a couple things I cringed at a little bit, but I think for the most part we did good. Just be mindful of that. We don't want to see you intimidate your dog into doing this. We want them to love it like we love it.
And that includes having your lead put away when you get ready to send your dog. Having your lead out can be interpreted by some people as a form of intimidation. We just want to make sure that they're in your pocket, or give it to us, or just toss it behind you. We just don't want you holding that lead.
Unless it's on the dog, right?
Correct.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
If it's on the dog,
I mean,
please
after your dog is
I did
sent.
that the whole time.
Yeah. No, after your dog is sent, we don't want you.
Yeah, just
don't want
toss it behind you or tuck it in your pocket if you can. Whatever's easiest. We're not super picky, just please don't hold it. All right, gun safety. We saw some really great gun work this morning. All of the birds died. We didn't have any gun safety warnings.
It's a first and started.
It is the first
Yeah.
and started. All the birds died. Just a quick recap. Right now we've got a safe gun. Our muzzle's pointed in a safe direction. Our breech is open. Our safety's on. We have an unsafe gun with that breech closed and the safety on. If you hand us back the gun in this position, it's going to be a gun warning. Right now we also have an unsafe gun with that breech open and the safety off. If you hand us back the gun like this, it is also a gun warning. Right now it's really unsafe with that breech closed and the safety off. If you hand us back the gun in this position, unfortunately it's an immediate disqualification. And again, 2 gun warnings does equal a disqualification. Can't run your dog here or in any other stake for the rest of the day. Somebody else got to run your dogs for you. If you are handling the gun, you may not touch your dog. So from the point you pick your gun up, your dog cannot be touched. Make sure your dog is situated, sit down, ready to go before you pick up the gun and load it. If you choose to use the gun, obviously you can't hold your dog while you're handling the gun at all. If you don't use the gun, feel free to restrain your dog like you did this morning.
Again, the test starts with you as the handler, blowing a duck call. No, you don't have to be a duck calling champion, just make sure you make some noise. Another thing to know here is the gunner. Typically, the gunner is fairly close to where you are running your dog. It is highly recommended that you expose your dog to gunfire before running a test. This should be done at a considerable distance from your young dog. Note that you can ask the gunner to move further away from your dog if you feel that your dog hasn't had a lot of exposure to it.
We've seen that. And we actually had a dog vomit on a bird. And we made him. He did, he brought it back.
Where's my dog? I mean, yeah, he's big, he's fine.
All right, let's line him up.
Well, that's all there is to the started test. In started, judges will generally give you a good indication if there were any significant issues that could result in not passing the test, or offer words of encouragement and congratulations. But the real celebration typically happens after all of the tests are complete and everybody gathers together. The camaraderie of the people of the HRC is truly what sets it apart from other venues. Everybody will be there to support you in your endeavor, no matter how far you choose to go. If you haven't run an HRC started test, we encourage you to take the leap. A good way to start is to search for a local HRC club. These clubs typically have training days and are always more than happy to get new people involved. We hope to see you at a test in the future. Come join us.
Some really entertaining dogs. And some good dogs. And some great dogs, right? So, in no particular order. Running dog, number 26, top mass double bucket shot. Buddy, come on up. Congratulations.